Hi everyone, hope everyone is well today. Thanks for joining me. We're doing something a little different this week. Well, not doing something, but we're in a different place. So our background is usually the same, but today my husband and I are at my daughter Brittany and her husband Bill's house in Huntington on Long Island. They're in South Carolina, so we're babysitting their cat, Toothless. Kind of not really babysitting, but just keeping them company. And by the way, Toothless does have teeth. So anyway, let's get started on the blog. This week, the title of the blog is How May I Serve? Oh, and by the way, unfortunately, I forgot my my mouse to my computer. Usually I just use that to move because I read it from the screen. So I have to use my finger, so I might be a little bit off today, but I'll do my best. So, it's been about 25 years since my first marriage took its final breath and my new life moved forward into a new and unexplored land. It was a place and a space that was dark yet bountiful. It was a world fraught with painfully hard-fought wisdom, gut-wrenching enlightened understanding, and eventual transformative acceptance. The fight for custody of our three young children, George, Brittany, and Alyssa, was brutal, torturous, terrifying at times, and deeply, deeply sorrowful for all of us. As the last chapter of our lives as husband and wife together wrote itself on the pages of the mystical Akashic records, I collapsed in a bundle of frayed nerves, a wounded heart and feelings of hopelessness and despair. And by the way, there's a footnote for Akashic records. If you're not sure what they are, you can look up what they are and maybe read a little about it. It's fascinating. Yet despite my lack of a clear path forward, I knew one thing for sure. I had a purpose here on the earth plane, just like we all do. It was a path that now was being directed by a newfound soulful and self-directed plea that I might be of service to our Creator and the people on this beautiful planet that we all call home. How I was going to be able to accomplish that goal was still a mystery, yet to be solved. So the following story is a testament to how, once we offer ourselves, say, I'm ready, we offer ourselves in the service of others. Not only are the people that we reach out to and help positively affected, but in teaching and serving others, we learn our lessons, remember our truth, and heal from our own pain as well. So this is a memory reconstructed from sometime in the late 90s. It was late summer. It's interesting how joyful I feel I'm used. Usually as the summer is about to bid adieu, I feel a bit sad. I also feel a somewhat desperate desire to hold back the arrival of autumn so I can enjoy the season of vitality, warmth, and vibrant, colorful foliage just a little longer. Of course, Mother Nature has her own plans, I thought, so I guess I shouldn't overthink this. Just stay in the moment and simply enjoy it. Somewhere around mid-morning, I noticed a significant shift in my mood. Out of nowhere, anxiety, uneasiness, and restlessness began to filter down into my solar plexus, which is where I usually feel my anxiety. It was puzzling as there was no clear reason for the abrupt transformation in my psyche. It wasn't accompanied by any defining thoughts that might have shaped my sudden and darkening mood. Nevertheless, work awaited along with several clients who had booked appointments with me for a massage. When I arrived at the spa, my anxious feelings came right along with me. I decided to sit quietly and pray, which I usually do anyway before I start my day of treating. I asked my team of light to help me set aside my own needs and my own troubles, whatever they were, because I wasn't sure, so that I could be there fully for whoever God was sending to me that day. I wanted to serve God, and by doing so, I would serve every soul that He entrusted to me. "Drew, your client is here," announced the receptionist. I walked to the waiting room and greeted a young woman who was pacing back and forth as I approached. "Hi, Pam," I said. "My name is Drew. How are you feeling today?" "Stressed. So much stress," she uttered, shaking her head from side to side as she followed me down the hallway. As I brought her into the treatment room, I turned and said, "Okay, Pam, I can see you're upset about something, so perhaps you want to talk about it?" She nodded as tears pooled in her eyes. I instructed her on how to prepare for her treatment and told her I'd be back in a few moments. When I re-entered the room, she was laying face up on the table, wide-eyed and eager to share what was troubling with her. She began. "It's been 40 years. 40 years. All that stuff. I just don't know how I'm going to face it all. And him. I'm so angry at him for dying and leaving me alone with all these problems," she rambled, as I tried kind of confusedly to piece together what she was trying to tell me. 40 years of what? I asked. "Living in that house together, being married to him, raising our kids together, all the memories and all the piles of stuff that was our life. Now I have to sell the house. What do I do with all the memories? Do I just throw them away? Every time I try to clean out a space, I find pictures of our life together, things he gave me, just so many memories, and I fall apart over and over and over again. I can't get through this. I can't." Her voice began to crack, and tears were now flowing like torrents down her cheeks as anguished sobs rose up from her pain. She reached up and she grabbed her head with both hands as if to try to stop the endless stream of worries, visions of the past, and fears of the future, and her unrelenting grief. She told me she felt as if life had picked her up and swung her around and hurled her into a place she no longer recognized and desperately wanted to escape from. I reached down and took her hands in mine. After a few moments, she calmed a bit, and I began to offer her my thoughts. "I'm so sorry for your loss, Pam," I said. "At times like these, words are a little comfort, but I do understand what it feels like to face a terrible loss and a world where everything has changed. During a time not so long ago when I was in a very dark space and couldn't even imagine being able to heal from all the deep sadness and sorrow I was experiencing, a human angel was there to help. He told me that the best way to heal oneself is to reach out and try to heal another person in need. He also told me that God doesn't ask us to come to him and be of service when we got it all together and we fixed our lives. Instead, he asks us to come to him with all of our faults, all of our failings and troubles, because right then we are exactly what he needs and what the world needs. At the time I thought, how can I possibly help anyone when I feel so broken and in pain? As something in his words made sense to me, and I somehow believed I had found the answer as to how I could define my life going forward, and perhaps even emerge with some joy from my tragic circumstances. Pam reflected. Now that you say that, the only time I feel good lately is when I bring food to an elderly friend of mine who has cancer. She's so grateful just to have my company, and I feel so blessed to be able to make her day just a little brighter for her. And just for a moment, I feel happy, and I forget my pain. Yes, I said. Being of service to others in their times of need has a way of making us feel stronger and can restore our hope. When we step away from our own pain and begin to focus on healing and helping others, love, light, and life return to our hearts. We begin to believe that we can handle whatever life gives us, no matter how difficult. What follows followed was a sort of transcendent moment. Pam's energy became almost childlike, and I could sense, even for a short moment, her despair transforming into abundant hope and renewed purpose. Her tears ceased to fall, and her once grief-filled eyes brightened and were suddenly filled with a perceptible radiant light. She looked serene and at peace. Now, I was sure that her journey through grief was far from over, but it was a start. And I hoped that the bit of wisdom that I did share with her would make her burden just a little lighter. The treatment was over. She thanked me for the gift she believed I had given her. As she was walking out the door, I felt overwhelming gratitude as well. I realized that a blessed miracle had occurred, and she had given me a precious gift as well. She allowed me to do exactly what I was trying to teach her to do. I rose above my own anxiety and pain from that morning, reached out to another soul who needed me, and astonishingly, my anxiety and angst were completely gone, transmuted by the empathy and the love that we both shared with each other. My healing was my reward for being of service. And over the years, the more I taught, the more I learned, and the more I served, the more I healed too. So I'd like to just add a little bit in that as human souls, I think there are a few things that are common to everyone, the reasons that we're here. One, of course, is to love. The other one is to learn our lessons. And then we need to teach what we have learned, teach our wisdom and our knowledge to others. And continue that cycle. Because I know I've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating because it's so important. As we become kind of expert in our craft, whatever it happens to be, there's always something that we can learn, especially when you're doing the kind of work that I do and the learning that you guys are doing by listening, or just maybe not even learning, just renewing what you already know, which is part of being on a spiritual path. But as a teacher, you always have to remember that you're a student as well. I know I've mentioned this before again, but this whole blog is about how can I serve. So the best way to do that is each morning with that prayer. When you open your eyes and you thank God for a new day and ask Him to be the love that you wish to see in the world. And then you ask the question, how may I serve? Whoever crosses my path today, what can I do? What can I say? How would you like me to be there for the people that come into my life? And for me, because I've been doing this work for a really long time and I do a lot of it in my treatments for massage, sometimes the exchanges between me and the people that are on the table are so beautiful. And I can actually see and feel their energy begin to electrify as they awaken and remember and become so excited about their path forward. Even though they may not even know what it is, there's something that happens. And all the time I walk out of the room, lift my head to the heavens and just say, thank you. Thank you for trusting me with the souls that you send to me. Thank you for believing in me with all of my faults, my failings, all of my stuff, that God trusts me to open my heart and my soul. And it makes my life so much richer and so much more beautiful. So that is my gift to you today, and I hope it has sparked something in you too. I really appreciate, again, you spending this time with me. Namaste, everyone. Enjoy your day.